If you notice the map of the campus, there is a spine running through the entire campus from the research building all the way to Kimmel. And it says that everything is integrated across the education mission, the research mission, and the clinical mission. Exceptionalism is a state of mind where people are concerned about being the very best that they can be, doing the things that are above and beyond what's expected, and ultimately taking pride in those things. I would say we have to be relentless as an institution, and that ultimately separates the good from the great.
NYU Hospital is being forced to evacuate tonight. There are 280 patients.
Our patients are our most important concern right now.
I watched a miracle happening. I watched people around a big table, the head of the hospital, the head of nursing, doctors, cops, firemen, EMS people. We took them down on sleds. I watched this.
COVID-19 has inflicted suffering on individual people and on our entire country. It has also demonstrated the ability of our exceptional institution to prevail over a monumental threat, this COVID pandemic. To our patients, to our communities, and to me, your courage and resilience are exemplary. I think we transformed medical education. We thought it was a moral imperative to go tuition-free. Then we decided to create a medical school on Long Island that was focused on individuals who wanted to do primary care. I am personally humbled by having my name indissolubly linked to the revered name Langone. Individuals who were risk takers enough to come to a new medical school that was going to be 3 years, but also tuition free. You have an idea, and it's a good idea, we're going to take you up on it. We want to knock down barriers to success. On the research side, the ensemble of all the different projects and different scientific accomplishments are enormous.
What our scientists learn in the laboratory or in the clinic has profound implications on not only our understanding, but also the treatment of all human diseases.
Everyone is really driven to improve patient care and also bring it into the community to really improve the lives of the people in New York City.
If I never got the triple transplant, basically I would not be here right now. Zero chance.
This is the first successful eye transplant ever.
Today I want to announce that we've hit a major milestone in xenotransplantation.
We like to think about innovations that no one else has thought about. And if they're going to make the care of a patient better, we're going to be the place that's going to do it.
Bob Grossman is going to go down as one of the luminary leaders in academic medicine.
NYU Langone is much more than a business. The people working here have a purpose. The purpose is to save lives.
There's been an awful lot of growth in the last 4 years.
What's amazing is that these practices, this network, is embedded throughout neighborhoods and communities in areas where there is a tremendous need.
For us, Brooklyn was an ideal opportunity. We felt we can have a huge impact in the Sunset Park location and actually beyond that. We thought we could bring our resources and our expertise to create something very special.
There's been the solidification and the expansion of the relationship with NYU Long Island.
The combining of our two organizations will ensure that the residents of Long Island will have a quality hospital in the middle for the next 100 years.
And there's been the expansion into Suffolk County out in Patchogue.
When we started 18 years ago, people doubted anything we were going to do. And they said to me and to Ken Langone, every time we propose something, you'll do it when pigs fly. So you'll notice violet pigs flying. It's a higher calling. It's a calling to the heart as well as the head.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in honoring and celebrating an innovator, an inspiration, a leader in our field, the CEO and Dean of NYU Langone Health, Dr. Robert Grossman. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you. Yes, thank you very much. Oh, wow. Wow, you did get one of these.
We did get the Tiffany's for you, sir.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, good. It's my,
Down there.
okay. Whoa. Okay, nice to see everybody. Many thanks, Darren, Arthur, and I want to give a shout out to Camille Glotzbecker because she actually was a force that got me here. So thank you, Camille. And I want to thank HLNY for this really splendid honor. Now, I'm particularly moved because I have a special relationship with Glen Island. And it was 60 years ago that I had two events here. The first event was I broke up with a prom date here. Okay, and she never forgot it because at my 40th reunion, the first words out of her mouth, at Glen Island, why didn't you take me to the prom? So they never forget. But the truth is, in the summer of 1965, I worked on construction at this place. It was called Glen Island Casino. It was different. My job was paint scraper. And every day I would come to work, get on a ladder, and scrape old paint off of the casino. It was hot, and I would be drenched in sweat, my hair matted, and my clothes covered with the scrapes, the paint chips. Now, I remember during the breaks watching the boats on the Long Island Sound. The decks were filled with kids, some of them my age at the time, appearing to have the time of their life. And I was thinking, what the hell was wrong with me? Now, the answer was nothing. I got a lot out of that experience and many others, including being a paper boy, dishwasher, stocking shelves at the A&P, sweeping the floors in a butcher shop. And all the working people I encountered taught me deep respect for those who do their jobs well. Nothing is too menial. You can learn from everyone. So maybe that should be the first idea. Be curious and become a learning machine. Part of this concept is to read widely. Being a reader gives you a step on others. When someone talks to me about their experience, I think N equals 1. Reading broadens your understanding and teaches you so much about leadership and people, and ultimately provides a powerful intellectual asset that gives you a significant competitive advantage. Another important lesson from my early days: don't assume everyone thinks like you. Big mistake. When what you want for yourself is not necessarily what others want. This is especially true in dealing with human relation issues. You believe you have a perfect solution for a particular individual. It is a new opportunity, and you cannot understand why the offering isn't received by over-the-moon gratitude. The answer is, she doesn't think like you. And, by the way, you've just flunked the emotional intelligence test. Great leaders read people well and can intuit their needs and desires. And now I think it's probably innate, but the capability needs to be refined. EQ trumps IQ in career advancement and predicting success, both in leadership and in management. Besides being a reader of both books and people, another underappreciated attribute that effective leaders possess is that many of them are excellent teachers. Eisenhower significantly facilitated his military career by being a superb football coach. Yes, a football coach. He went from post to post, and everyone wanted him because he was a winner. Winning football coaches are talented instructors. Great leaders tend to be gifted teachers, but great teachers may or may not be good leaders. Another undervalued trait in leaders is their sense of humor. John Kennedy and Bill Clinton had wonderful senses of humor, and I remember reading about John Kennedy. Now, this is going to date me, but at Kennedy's time, the ambassador to Russia was a guy named Anastas Mikoyan. And Kennedy goes up to him and says, "Are you the real Mikoyan?" So they had very good senses of humor. And they were actually also, those two guys were actually really voracious readers. The best leaders are outstanding communicators. They are clear and concise and broadcast truth and values, enabling establishment of organizational culture. Remember, good writing is a sign of clear thinking. Leaders have humility. Humility and self-confidence go hand in hand. You must have enough confidence to always be willing to learn. Courage and the desire to take risks are important traits and quite intertwined. Successful leaders are not timid. They are not afraid of losing or getting fired. Rather, they are willing to bet the ranch and win big. There is a Chinese proverb that many a false step was made by standing still. Leaders operate in the ether of ambiguity, and they are comfortable making big decisions without antecedent clarity. Most often, any decision is better than no decision. Now, if you persist as a leader, you'll undoubtedly encounter crises. Everyone does. Many times, a crisis defines a leader's tenure and legacy. Blowing it is usually lethal. Just look at the recent rash of terminations of university presidents. When you have seen one crisis, you've seen one. They reveal the best and expose the worst. Expect everything to fail, think long term. be visible and communicate. Everyone in a crisis is nervous, frightened, exhausted, and at times panicked. You may have to manage other managers, manage the managers. They are all observing you. Be calm and resolute. Remember, everything can look like a failure when you're in the middle of a crisis. Be positive. Accept short-term pain for long-term gain and make lemonade. Effective leaders address challenging situations promptly. I adopted a Mark Twain phrase. I use the term "eat the frog" to characterize how one should manage difficult issues that are at your feet. Take responsibility. Don't give it to somebody else. Accept it and explain your rationale and move on. Great leaders anticipate. Now, a lot of people like to solve problems. There's less glory in preventing an untoward problem than in being a hero and solving what should have never happened in the first place. Evaluate near misses and continuously learn from failures. Make mistakes teachable moments. A few other thoughts. You can see a little better here. Sustained success requires persistent value creation. Be proactive, not reactive. Don't be afraid of the competition. It makes you better. The more successful you are, the more ferocious the competition. Remember, dogs don't urinate on moving cars. Why do leaders fail? Okay, there are many reasons. I'll provide a few. They are risk averse, timid, incremental, indecisive, out of touch, insecure, inauthentic, hail fellow, well met, and afraid to admit they don't know the answer. That's just to name a few reasons. You can see these issues a mile away. The question to ask is, how did they get there in the first place? And I think a lot of search processes and committees are flawed. They facilitate the advancement of affable, well-connected, the careerists, and tend to disadvantage those with real aptitude who may appear as severe or too straightforward. Those making the choice tend to overemphasize appearance and schooling. And I would say, remember, Winston Churchill never went to college. And they don't focus on real-world achievements, emotional intelligence, guts, and whose careers the applicants have accelerated. Searches need to discover which candidates possess the right combination of courage, confidence, decisiveness, tenacity, resilience, hard work, authenticity, and enthusiasm to really enable success. Now, appreciate, this is important, appreciate that mediocrity is always invisible until passion shows up and crushes it. Lastly, my journey from paint scraper to dean and CEO, the son of a mother who was an illegal immigrant and a father from the coal mines of Appalachia, you would argue a very unvarnished background to being honored by this wonderful society is a tribute to the prospects in medicine and to this great but not perfect country. It illustrates the glorious opportunities in healthcare for everyone, no matter where they start. Remember, passionate people change the world. Go for it and leave it all on the field. Thank you.